Hello everyone, Raza von Werder from the University of Mother God Church, and I'm deep in the subject of matriarchy versus patriarchy, in a hurry to get to the sex, to get to the issues on sex. But I can't get there until I explain matriarchy versus patriarchy. So let me add, I've given in the last two videos, I gave what patriarchy is, and then I gave what matriarchy is, the qualities of it. And so now I will add why men are unsuitable for ruling the family and the world. Men are unsuitable to rule the family because they have no maternal instinct. So how can they be the leader of a family without a maternal instinct, without a caring instinct? It doesn't make sense. The nuclear family is a hotbed of abuse. Men intimidate and beat up women, and they molest children rampantly. I believe that 1 out of 3 fathers abuses his children. And that's not to mention other men in the family and in the acquaintance of the child that are abusing children. Men are abusing children rampantly. Okay, so they are unsuitable to rule the family because they don't have a maternal instinct. And they are intimidating and violent and exploitative. Not all of them, of course, but there's a tendency, it happens a lot, to the mother, the woman, and the children. Okay, so why are they not fit to rule the world? For the same reason! Because they don't care about people. They are exploiters. It's not in their nature. What is in their nature? Men are made to support and serve women. They're made to give happiness, pleasure, caring to women. They're supposed to be romantic and loving to women. And they're supposed to support her in whatever she wants and needs and in the raising up of children. They're supposed to go out and do things, hunt or gather, or maybe she gathers and hunts, they hunt and gather together. And then he's supposed to be, and often is self-sacrificing by jumping in between the woman and children when they are in harm's way, like with a wild animal or another man attacking them. He has to jump in and frequently sacrifices himself for them because he's got the chemical boldness to do this. Men are expendable by nature. Expendable means you don't need a lot of men. You need more women. Because women take 9 months to have a child. A man can sperminate in a year hundreds of women. Hundreds. And so they have a different role, not taking care of people, but sacrificing themselves for those who need protection. But with the demonics taking over, the demonic men, the one-third of the men being demonic, they have taken over. They did take over. It's changing. We're going back to matriarchy. When they took over, the demonics, they murdered women and children. They murder. They murder. What do you think war is? What about all the fatalities? What about all the men in prison? What about all the violent men? The violence. Who are they violent against? More so women and children than other men. Yeah, other men too. Actually, I'm not sure about the statistics on that. How many, who men kill more, men or women. I'm not sure. But I know that in a family, domestic disputes, it's usually the man doing the violence and the killing. And the abuse of children is the man. Sexual abuse. Beating up abuse and emotional and mental abuse can be a woman too. But sexual abuse is the man. They cannot rule the world because women have to rule the world. They are created by Mother God to rule the world. they are superior to men. Women are superior to men. I'm not going to get into the matriarchy versus patriarchy for too many more videos. I'm going to end it with this, and then I'm going to get into the sex business, sex stuff. Women are superior. Mentally, they have two X chromosomes. Man has an X and a Y. A Y is a broken down X, and it cannot repair itself. Men are going extinct. I wasn't going to go into that, but I guess I have to. Men actually are not going to exist in 100,000 years or so, according to Dr. Brian Sykes, the world's leading geneticist. Take a look. Dr. Brian Sykes, S-Y-K-E-S, Oxford University, world's leading geneticists. Men, every study, it started, the first book I know that preached female supremacy was 1952, and I saw it. I saw him on TV. Not in 52, but in like years later, in the 60s, I saw him on TV on the David Susskind show. Ashley Montagu, The Natural Superiority of Women. Even in 1952, all the data was in. The data was in on the superiority of women. They're mentally, constitutionally, emotionally superior to men. They're smarter. I know you don't believe that, but they are. That's why men deprive them of getting an education. They know women are smarter. But the most important factor is women care. You know, you could be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't care about others, you're going to hurt them. Men, by nature, when they're given authority, they hurt people. Look at all the cults that end up suicide cults, end up abusing, killing, suicides in the cults, doing violence in the cults, run by men. I'm talking men cults. There's so many. It's just a whole string of them in the last century. So women have to take over, and they are. It's happening right before our eyes. Okay, so let's talk about some of these other things that I started talking about. So let me get into my first subject that I thought of that's I should introduce you to. Tantra sex, what is it? Tantra is a part of yoga. Yoga has ancient goddess religions that continued living within their society, even though women are horribly, horribly repressed and abused in India. But again, it's changing there as everywhere else. A group of women saints got together and they devised the system. It was in Tantra sex, it is recognized that the woman is spiritually more powerful and superior to the man. And what they require of the man in Tantra sex is that he withholds his orgasm while making love. The man has to learn to serve the woman's body and heart and soul and mind in making love to her, not for 15 minutes or 7 minutes, which is the average, jump on her belly and fill her with jelly. They come and they go. No. They have to kiss for a long time. They have to caress and massage for a long time. They have to give her oral sex for a long time. They have to learn how. They have to learn where her sensitive part is, the clitoris. They have to learn, and they have to learn to lick on it for a long time. And then maybe they go back to caressing or massaging and kissing. This goes on for hours. So you can see how women created. But what is the reward? What is the reward to the man? It's not a quickie. The reward to the man is that eventually, if he continues this, he gains the loving energy, the spiritual love of the woman. It pours into him. And over a period of time, and we're not talking weeks, we're talking months and years, he will rise up into enlightenment by gaining her love, spiritual love energy. Now, this is a religion that they call Tantra. Now, I looked up on the internet, Tantra Sex. There was nothing on Wikipedia. Nothing. Nothing. So they tell you, a lot of people will tell you, oh, you're degrading Tantra. Tantra isn't about sex. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There is such a cult. And they have gurus who will get together, people who practice and believe in it. They have gurus who will guide the group into worshiping. The whole idea is man venerates the woman, even worships the woman as God on earth, and receives her godly power. And it lifts him up. It lifts him up. Now, why don't the men today know how to make love? Because it's a taboo to be with older women, and older women are the ones who will teach you. Teach them. So they don't know how to make love. To be continued.